Hey, Chris.
Hey.
So, how's the weather in Florida this time of year?
It's awfully cold. Why do you ask?
You were down there.
Yep.
Wasn't that a triumphant intro,
Yeah,
everybody?
Man. Yeah.
Cool stuff. Bumping the mic. I'm sorry. That sounds really bad. There's all kinds of bumping and shuffling and shit. But what would you expect more from us than bumping and shuffling?
Grinding.
And
clubbing.
And just
scruffling.
General schlubbing around.
There we go. Now we're talking.
We've been doing that over the last few days. So this is the first podcast of 2018.
Absolutely.
It is. I've got a whole lot of stuff to talk about. A whole lot of stuff.
Yeah.
A whole New Year's worth.
Well, what'd you do? How was your winter break?
I didn't get one.
Well, your winter festival.
I didn't have one. I'm an atheist.
It didn't happen to you?
A winter festival? What does that mean? Like Burning Man?
Did you enjoy Christmas?
Not really.
Okay, we'll change the subject.
I worked Christmas Eve and had to be up at 7 a.m. in the morning Christmas Day to go to fucking church with my dad.
It sounds terrible. Okay, we'll move on.
No, let's talk about what we got. We can always bring it back to consumerism. What'd you get? What'd you check?
What'd you check?
I'm going to name one gift, and you're going to name one of yours.
I don't want to do this. This is dumb.
Throw it back and forth.
Okay.
CDs.
Skateboards.
Tablet.
New cell phone.
My tablet didn't work. New cell phone?
No.
I can do something about that case. I don't like your case. It's too, like,
it
crazy.
loses little pieces every time I do anything.
I think I found a few in my, like, bathroom. I got a trivia game for
Santa
my
hat.
aunt. No, well, you got a Santa hat?
Yeah.
Is that it?
Mm-hmm.
Was it full of candy?
Yes.
I got clothes for work.
Bathroom tiles.
I got 8 cans of Gold Bond spray. I don't know if you saw that in the bathroom.
I did see that. That's going to come in handy one day.
See, it's becoming... I've gotten older. It's all practical stuff. And I was so excited to see that. I got the Sega Genesis collection. 40 games. Sonic's collection. You guys might see something from that later on, you know. I don't know, though. Well, what did you get?
I got a new camera.
That's it.
That was basically it, yeah.
You get any money?
Like $20.
My fucking grandmother gives me a $100 check for my birthday.
That's nice.
And I tell her, you really don't need to do that. That's too much. And she gives everyone in the family a $250 check for Christmas.
My God!
So it makes me feel
like... introduce me.
Makes me feel like the birth of Christ is more important than me.
What?
My birthday.
Oh, I see what you're saying. Okay.
My birthday, yeah.
Sure, yeah.
No, that's just a joke I tell everybody. I don't know. I got $250 from her. It's pretty cool. You can take it to the ATM and just like plug it in. And it reads it and scans it right there.
Yeah, the check?
Clears it.
Yeah, it's great.
It's fucking crazy.
Yeah, when I got my refund check from the apartment complex that I moved out of, all I did was slip it right in. It was nice.
Who you banking with?
Wells Fargo.
Me too.
Hey.
Company
right?
Bank. Company
yeah.
Bank, man.
Oh,
right.
man.
Yeah.
Wow, Wells.
Well, that's all I had for Christmas. I mean, was it like a festive, good, fun time for you, or it was
no,
just
absolutely not. Did you have any?
It feels worse every year.
Not that. We didn't have anybody over. Did you have to deal with your uncle again?
I miraculously dodged that.
Oh, nice.
In fact, my parents this past a week ago, last Thursday, went up to Tennessee to see them, and I had to work, so I didn't have to go.
My Christmas was just uneventful because nobody came to visit, including my brother, so it was just us.
But you guys went and saw Star Wars.
That's true.
And your dad had a good time, I hear.
Oh, my mom did, too.
I bet, but I think Dad had a really good time.
Yeah. My mom just likes Harrison Ford a lot, so she was a little disappointed.
Well, I mean, she saw the last one.
Yeah.
Does she think he'd be like a Force ghost in this?
Maybe. I don't know.
Leia's gonna see him and say, I love you, and he's gonna let her know. And then everybody in the crowd will go, oh.
Get a lot of, woo-hoo!
Yeah! Woo! Yeah, miraculously, the night that we saw Episode 8, the theater was pretty quiet.
It was awesome.
There was one guy.
There was one. That was funny.
Who would chuckle too hard.
He would laugh at like the obligatory children like quips.
Yeah.
And he would go, "Oh, yes!"
Yeah, he'd always be the last one making noise.
But it wasn't that bad.
That kind of takes me back. I don't know if it's on this channel or the last one we did, where they have that fucking Batman versus Superman reveal, and someone just starts in the audience, "Oh! Oh!"
I like the
wait, what?
The old Mega 64 podcast story of like them announcing the Avengers, and people just started going together in unison.
No,
like that is insane.
I really do hate those moments. In fact,
well, that's what I don't get. Like in episode 8, like Luke shows up at one point, and this guy's like, "Oh, oh, oh!" It's like, what did you think was going to happen?
That's how the last movie ended.
What did you think was going to happen?
Seriously.
Like, when we saw Batman, people were like, "Oh! Batman!" It's like, yeah, it's a Batman movie.
I mean, people just want to be excited for stuff.
Yeah, but it's also weird when it's in, like, a mostly empty theater, maybe with, like, 15 or 20 people, and there's one guy clapping the whole time.
Hey, good for him. He's having a great time.
I was sick of it.
I just say to myself, I wish I could be having as good of a time as he is. That's the right attitude to have. But, you bring up not buckling under pressure in public.
Okay, yeah. Hey, do you remember the time that I tried to get you to call a McDonald's person a McRascal?
Yes.
And you just went, and then drove off?
I fucked up. It felt really bad. I got scared. I thought they might attack. Like, try to wrench me out of my driver's seat.
Like the mother and mom hid my game. So what? Keep going. Buckling under pressure. Enlighten me.
I mean, when I was in college as a music major, there was a lot of applause, laughter, and responses to people doing things, And I became emboldened by my fellow uninterested instrumentalists in a choir class to stand in the background and never clap when everyone else was clapping and just scowl, and it was awesome. Like, all of us looked like a death panel, and everyone else is like dancing and screaming and giggling.
Like, do you ever have like I'm sure you've experienced this, but like public speakers who will be like, "Good morning, everyone," and they want you to respond?
Yes, they're like,
I will never.
I can't hear you.
I never respond.
Let's try that again.
I cannot stand that.
It's
shit.
like going to a pep rally.
It's bullshit. It's like, I'm 22.
It's especially bad when it's on, maybe like a corporate level, and someone's trying to get people jazzed about a meeting or like a new corporate mandate or something. It's just. Oh, it's so bad. Because you're already at a stuffy, miserable office, and there's just this dickhole dancing around at the head of the table like he's hot shit, and you just want to die. Or just not be there, really. Yeah, I mean, death might not be the first option. It's a pretty bleak thing to say. But, I don't know. I don't buckle under public pressure anymore.
Yeah. If
some dumb shit's happening, I'm not going to feel obligated.
Sometimes you got to own it.
Like, I'm not going to cheer or clap just because everyone else is. I don't care being the sore thumb sticking out. It doesn't matter. I'd rather make my point, even though no one notices. And the only
you notice.
The only ones that do are just like, a weird guy.
Wow, he's not having fun.
But it helps me sleep at night, so I guess that, I guess that goes a pretty long way.
I got something that helps me sleep at night.
What?
Are you sure you want to know?
What?
Are you ready?
Yeah.
Are you sure?
Yes.
I got 2 things for you, buddy.
What?
I'm going to let you choose which one you want to do first.
What?
I got Explain That Tweet.
Oh, shit.
And I got Opinion Scramble lined up.
I got one, too.
So we're gonna launch into which one do you have? Opinion Scramble.
Scramble.
All right, I'm going first. I'm doing
Fuck.
Opinion Scramble for you. Okay. Cue
Fuck.
the music, everyone.
No.
Let's light this bitch up. Whoa! Ready? Ready? Ready?
All right.
Anime.
Good.
AOL Instant Messenger.
Bad.
Nematodes.
Good.
Neiman Marcus.
Bad.
Norman Reedus.
Bad.
Cleats.
Good.
Huffington Post.
Good.
Pot roast.
Good.
French toast.
Good.
Spanish rice.
Good.
Kick flips.
Bad.
Thick hips.
Good.
Head lice.
Bad.
Snowmen.
Good.
Women's suffrage.
Bad.
Wow.
Wait, no. Good.
That's on the record.
No, I can't remember what
Bud Light.
I don't want women to suffer. I forgot what suffrage means. Bad.
Corn dogs.
Good.
Pretzels.
Bad. Good.
Caramel apples.
Bad.
Pizza.
Good.
Halberds.
Good.
Grape soda.
Bad.
Moon shoes.
Good.
Furbies.
Good.
Mega blocks.
Bad.
Plazas.
Good.
Food courts.
I mean, if they're still alive in the mall. I mean, good.
The Sphinx.
Good.
Aubrey Plaza.
In what capacity?
You've done it.
Fuck.
Oh, boy.
I wanted to explain that tweet, too.
That's buckling under pressure, isn't it?
Yeah.
You want to go ahead and do it? No.
I want to do the tweet thing. I want to
Okay.
get done with this. Because it's not going to be good.
Let me go through my files.
This is like stripping my pants down and pushing me in front of the lectern.
Let me sift through. I got just like a high-res picture of a pizza on here. Okay.
That was one of your opinion scramble.
High-res pizzas. Where are you? Okay, here we go. All right, first one. I think I might know this, but I
shit.
want to hear what you say.
All right.
Dickies Relaxed Fit. That's the one for me. This is explain that tweet, by the way.
Okay, so I always used to wear dress clothes to work, and I made fun of the people. Or I didn't like in my head was just like, look at these people in their Dickies. That costs like $10. They don't even give a shit.
Look at you, highbrow man.
And then I realized where I was. And so every now and then I have to get a new pair of Dickies. And I was looking for the relaxed fit at Walmart, and I couldn't find one.
Oh God, buying pants at Walmart is a miserable experience.
Well,
they always feel like cardboard.
Yeah.
Ugh.
Yeah. But my waist size is, I have a very weird waist and leg measurement. It's 36 in the waist and 31 in the leg.
You have big calves.
I guess.
You do.
Yeah. But I've gotten very fat in my midsection, so it's a weird, awkward, like, so I have to get the relaxed fit, which is like the elastic waistband. And sometimes it's so hard to find. And I don't know, I was just out hunting for that one day, and I just decided to tweet, Dickies Relaxed Fit, that's the one for me.
At 2 a.m.?
Oh. I must have just bought them and come home.
Wow!
And
you put them on.
I was just thinking about it.
You slipped into something
I
a little
probably
more
washed
comfortable.
them for the first time for work the next day.
Oh, okay.
Okay, next.
There you go. Okay.
That was everything you wanted it to be.
All right. At 3 a.m., my father and I often discuss Al Roker shitting himself in the White House. What does this mean? Why? Who does this?
Okay. So, me and my dad, when I was growing up, he always made fun of Al Roker. He thought Al Roker was the biggest clown. And so we have this in-joke thing about Al Roker, which is so weird. And so one day, when I was in, my freshman year of college, I sent him an article about Al Roker shitting himself after he had gastric bypass surgery when he was in the White House. And apparently the story is, he threw away his soiled underwear in the White House bathroom trash can. And can you just imagine? Can you just imagine being the custodian or whatever and going in there and Al Roker's enormous...
It has his name on the tag!
His enormous fucking bloomers or whatever the fuck he was wearing are just shit covered in the toilet, and not even in the toilet. Wow.
See, this isn't what I expected. I thought you meant like he was elected president and just shit himself as like a result.
He just had gastric bypass surgery like the day before, and so his colon and like digestive system was fucked up, and he shit himself in the White House, which is like the scariest, most upsetting thing I can imagine doing.
Oh my god.
Can you imagine doing that? It's quite a story. Look it up.
His bloomers.
Look it up. It's true. He'll tell you the story online. Al Roker personally.
Al Roker shit story.
He'll call you on Skype and tell you about the time he shit himself in front of the president. This was Obama at the time, thankfully.
Are you ready?
Yes.
All right, this one's a real... this is one I thought you might delete.
Oh, that's not good. That's not good.
This is just... I don't know when this was. I screenshotted it.
Oh.
This one you just have the best I've ever looked and posted this photo.
That's still up there? God damn it. I thought I got rid of that.
Tell me what
I did delete it. I did delete it.
No, I just did it recently.
I had to have.
What is this?
I was really drunk and went outside, and for some reason I had my camera on for when I opened my phone, and it was on reverse, and I looked at myself and I said, damn, I look decent enough. It just took a picture, and I forgot about it.
Okay, fine.
There's no story behind that one. It's just, I thought I looked good that night.
I'm trying to...
I made a silly face.
I feel like that and I Just Want a Girl with a Goofy Smile are my two favorite tweets.
That's the worst one. I had to hold on to that in my mind. I deleted it.
I wanted to give you a shout out for this one, though. No, this is not bad. I'm giving you credit for this one.
Thank God.
This one, you like Googled insistent or something, and you have this awful, like, Microsoft Paint stitched together thing that says it's the definition of the word insistent, and then the example is Tony's soft, insistent questioning, and you have a picture of Tony Soprano yelling like that. That is awesome.
I vaguely remember doing that.
That is really good.
There was something about I had like, when was that?
Oh, I don't know. Hold on.
Because I think I remember.
I can't tell
what
it is.
It wasn't too long ago. It was pretty long ago, but it wasn't too long ago. I think I was thinking about my business class because I went through my old backpack from when I was at my second college and stayed for a year only. And like I had all these business notes, and some of them are about like public speaking and stuff as a business person. And I was just thinking about like so there was something in there. I think it says something like speak with a tone of insist, or just not. They meant just be confident, but it said something like speak with insistence.
Yeah.
I was like,
you must do something.
I was like, who does that? And so I thought, who could it be? I thought, what would Chris find funny too? And I was like, Tony Soprano. Everything he says becomes law.
But I like the example, like, Tony's soft, insistent questioning.
That doesn't even make sense. He's never soft about it.
No.
His ferocious, ham-fisted questioning.
Do you remember the scene where like Carmela buys him like extra pulp orange juice? And he's like, "What the fuck? I said some pulp," and she throws the thing at her.
Extra pulp is pretty rough. I don't know if it's worth like hurting your wife or throwing an object at her, but I mean, like I would be pissed if I told someone to get a type of orange juice and they came out with fucking extra pulp. That's like asking.
Just give them an orange.
That's like asking for fucking no mayonnaise, and when you open the container, it's just a sea of mayonnaise.
It's just mayonnaise.
Yeah, like man. That's that's a fucking slap to the face, even if you didn't mean to do it.
When I was a small child, my mom ordered a plain hamburger with nothing on it from McDonald's, and they gave me 2 buns.
Well, did you have any more tweets?
No, I really just wanted to get down to this is the best I've ever looked one.
I don't know. I was just really drunk.
Well, the Al Roker one was...
the Al Roker has quite a story
behind it.
And me and my dad will talk about that, seriously, every few weeks. Like, it comes up, and we're both just in fucking stitches. Just losing our minds laughing. Imagine him, like, shitting himself in the White House.
And him, like, having to sneak around and hide his britches.
And then he was so open and candid about it.
That is weird.
He talked about it in an interview. He's like, well, you know,
I'm trying to picture him, like, on the, like, he's the Today Show, right?
I mean, he's been on the Today Show. I don't know if he still
I thought he was, like, the host. Right.
I don't know.
I'm just picturing him being like, well, today I went to the White House.
No, he said it and let the audience know a lot more easily and eased them into it and used very specific words.
I just like the idea of a White House press release. We found Al Roker's underwear in the bathroom.
No, I just like the White House custodian, like finding that. What is this? These horrible things.
Soiled size 49 bloomers.
It's like Al Roker. I mean, what a story to go home and tell your family. I just cleaned up Al Roker's shit-stained underwear at the White House.
Let me tell you, it doesn't get any better than this.
Like, anything preposterous happening in the White House, just like bathroom accidents or like burning food, just anything is so funny because it's supposed to be like the ultimate place.
Right.
For like perfection and just...
and tradition and
yes!
all that, yeah. Oh, man.
Oh, well, it was bound to happen sooner or later. I'm on a kick, Chris. Since for the first time in maybe 10 years, a decade, something like that. You know, when I was a kid, I used to go through heavy, intensive phases. You know, it'd be something like...
Bionicles,
James Bond, or just video games or other things, Legos. I'd do crazy shit. And then there was Star Wars. Star Wars was always there. I used to beg my parents and force them in the strangest of ways to buy me these preposterously expensive Lego sets. And I thought they were so wonderful. The Lego sets, not my parents. But I'm getting too far off. I have hit a Star Wars phase again. Age 25, it's back. 15 was the last time.
What happened at 15?
I don't know. I just got out of it.
No, I mean, like, why were you so into it?
I don't know. I don't know, man.
'Cause that was like during the lull.
I remember. It was like I was 15. I was still collecting fucking Star Wars sets. When was that? I don't know. But so, you know, we talked about seeing Star Wars.
We said we saw it. That's basically it.
And how it was great and all this.
I don't even know if we said that.
Well, I really enjoyed the Force. The Force Jedi. The Last Jedi. So much so I can't even get the name right.
Big Time Jedi.
Starring Zach Braff. He's the Last Jedi.
Garden State Jedi.
Directed by Kevin Smith.
Featuring Will Ferrell and that
Stop
other guy.
it! Stop it! Stop it! It's a Jim Baker reference. Anybody check him out on Vic Burger's YouTube page.
Super Deluxe.
Super Deluxe, excuse me. I don't know. They split some.
Yeah, it's annoying.
But yeah, so with this Star Wars phase, I got launched. Because here's the thing that's so weird about me. For the last few years, I was aware that, you know, Force Awakens was out.
That's
and
so
a thing,
crazy that you just now saw it.
And I saw it maybe last month for the first time. And I was like, oh, okay, there's something going on here. But it didn't hook me.
I was full blown. As soon as I saw Force Awakens, I was like, okay, I'm in.
Force Awakens was fine to me, but it wasn't what I really wanted.
It's exactly what I wanted.
I wanted the story to progress exponentially into new territory. And so The Last Jedi more so fulfills that. I mean, I don't know. Yeah, but anyway, so I feel like a kid again. Mixing that with the backdrop of the Christmas holiday and everything, a magical time of the year, it was the perfect storm for my 25-year-old self to fall head over heels in Star Wars love again. To fall head over heels in Star Wars again.
Is this a public breakdown?
To fall in love with Star Wars head over heels once again. And so this uncovered an even greater problem I texted you one day. I relapsed, Chris.
In the form of Legos.
And it was Legos. I've done quite a bit to try to move away from having toys prominently displayed in my room or anywhere. No thanks to Nintendo and their fucking amiibos. But I pretty much, all of my Star Wars sets, the ones that stayed together, ended up in an attic or in a tub in a corner. And I used to be so into it, man. But this movie brought it back for me. And I have spent a total of about $245 on 2 Star Wars Lego sets. Ugh. I got Kylo Ren's TIE Fighter because I wanted Kylo Ren. And I got the First Order Star Destroyer, which is not a very good scale. It should be
like the Kylo Ren's ship is like bigger than it.
But it's those damn wings.
That's what
but
Lego
the First Order, like if it was to scale, it would, I mean, compared to the Kylo Ren fighter, it
would be like the size of your bed.
It would be the size of the room.
Yes. Snoke's ship would be like the size of the fucking house.
It would be bigger. But I never thought I'd go down this path again, Chris. And I've struggled with the shame and the embarrassment and the misery and the self-destruction of it in my paycheck. And what am I doing? But first I bought Kylo Ren's TIE Fighter and I said, this is good.
But that's it for now.
And then it
came
back.
It came back.
It came back.
It's like a drug habit.
I kept looking at, yes. I kept looking at that fucking thing online. Like I looked at like the biggest current like Last Jedi and Force Awakens sets, and I was like,
the sequel trilogy.
Yeah.
You want First Order stuff.
And I mean I would be happy with almost anything, but I'm big on that right now, especially since it so resembles the classic trilogy.
Yeah.
But man, it's been a weird thing because I remember when you had Daniel and Keith out here, you had mentioned to me that just what you had told them. Like I never met them before, and I was very nervous. Or no, I had met them, but like I had them out here, and I was super nervous about them being out here. And
right, because they came to my house for Thanksgiving when we were sophomores in college.
And then they came here for
just for an overnight bonanza.
Romp. And then you said something about, hey, they'll be cool to do anything, anything, even if it's playing with Legos. And I was like,
did I say that?
Yeah. And I was like, the fact that he even threw that in here upsets me.
That wasn't like a conscious effort.
No, you were, but still I was like, that sounds so lame. Not like what you're saying, but like it's lame for me. Like the implication that like you even think that like you have to prepare them. Like, he might make you play with Legos.
He might make you.
He might make
He'll stand over you menacingly and tell you to build
it.
Build it.
Do it. Oh, there it is. Do it. I've been waiting to get that out for the longest time.
Can we talk about Star Wars in reverse, please?
We started watching the prequels last night because we wanted to see some sick lightsaber fights, and then I started rewinding them, and everything became great.
Yeah, on accident, too.
Great on accident.
Darth Vader strapping himself back into the chair. That is the best.
The fucking Imperial forces retreating on Hoth.
Yoda throwing Luke's ship back into the swamp.
Fuck this.
No.
There were so many things, and it all started though because we found a strange obsession with Sheev Palpatine, the character, the Emperor, the evil guy, the original senator from Naboo that became the Grand Chancellor or whatever the fuck he was. He's just so comically evil.
He is so evil.
It is like black and white way.
And it's so funny because you can tell Lucas wanted to have like some gray area, but the way that he presents it,
but this guy,
it makes it so much more black and white.
So we were watching this.
Like
we were
he's
watching
a maniac.
If you haven't seen those idiotic prequels by now, whatever. I don't even give a shit. You've had time. We're watching the scene in episode 3.
The fight with Count Dooku.
Where Dooku is destroyed. And there's so many weird points. There's so many things that I say.
What was that canned line that Ewan McGregor delivers? He's like,
You want to get away with it this time, Dooku.
You will not escape this time,
Something
Dooku.
like that. So
Yes.
you won't win this time, Dooku.
Like he had that in his back pocket the whole time.
And he pulls out the lightsaber as he's like saying it. It's like, oh, everything's so contrived. But so we started breaking down all of these climactic, like pivotal fights, and suddenly something happened with Ian McDiarmid, the guy who portrays Palpatine in every single one.
That is insane to me.
Through
I had
3,
no idea.
1 through 3 and 6. I guess he was very young when he was in 6.
There's a hologram of Palpatine
It's
in
not
that
him,
5,
though.
but it's not him.
It's
right.
a woman,
Yeah.
actually.
Oh, wow.
Yes. And they changed it to...
Yeah, they did. They
actual...
touched it up.
To the actual actor from all the other movies.
It doesn't bother me that much. The Hayden Christensen,
It's just unnecessary.
Christensen thing is
It's just
stupid.
unnecessary.
Everything he did was, yeah.
But so, we were watching the scene, like, where Anakin has fucking Dooku cornered and, like, has his lightsaber in his own...
Like a scissor formation.
Like a scissor situation around his neck. And before this, like, while fucking Anakin and Obi-Wan are fighting Dooku, like, the Palpatine was going, yes! Yes!
While he's fighting, it would do a quick cut back to Palpatine and go,
Yes!
Yes!
Not even in an evil, it's, yeah!
Cheering him on.
And then, like, Anakin's like, I shouldn't do this when he's about to kill Dooku.
I must not.
It's not the Jedi way. Do it, Anakin. Do it. And then finally just, do it. Do it. It's just so vicious and awful and cartoonishly evil.
Also, like when he's giving a speech in front of the Senate, he just starts going,
I may be deformed from my encounter with the Jedi. And we're sitting like, why is everyone just listening to this like it's normal?
All we could talk about was, why would anyone he's so obviously evil. Like, it's like, why? Why would anyone?
Restore a new galactic empire! And it's like, why is everyone applauding? What is going on? This dude who's been like a fucking but like somehow his like generic predictable evil became the funniest.
What did you call it? Comically evil?
Comically evil. Cartoonishly evil.
Yeah, that too.
Like, just do it. Just everything. And then, I mean, after Anakin, like, kills Mace Windu, I will be your apprentice, master. Good.
My favorite part is when he dubs his new name. He goes, "You will be Darth Vader." Like he just had to come up with it on the spot.
The funniest thing about his character is that after Darth Maul, his first apprentice, is killed, he's immediately looking for a new one, and he gets Vader, and Vader serves him for some 35 years, and the moment Luke has destroyed Vader, like, the Emperor's like, you will become my new apprentice! It's like, what is your fucking deal with these apprentices? Like, what are you doing? You just throw the old ones away like garbage.
Yeah.
Like, why do you have to have this?
Well, I think
to preserve the Sith dynamic.
Well, the
master and apprentice.
I think the idea is that obviously the guy that beat his apprentice is more powerful.
Not in his prime? I don't know.
Okay, sure. Well, if you want to get into Darth Vader's prime.
Anakin would beat Luke in the prequel. But
you're making me sick.
Yeah, and I've gotten into Star Wars takes me down so many dark holes that are socially unacceptable. Like,
when we were talking about like the fight scenes like the other night, we were just like, we need to stop.
Yes,
we were just
I hate if anyone nerded out.
If
so
anyone
much.
Witnessed us, they'd be like, these guys are fucking.
What are they
losers.
doing? But I find Star Wars, parts of it to be so genuinely stirring and impactful, and they last in my mind that it's hard not to. Like, I mean, I was talking to you about the Vader death, you know, and the, you already did. You already did. In reference to Luke saying, I have to save you. And it's like, wow, that's just, like, just stand up and applaud. You know, one of the funniest things on the Metal Injection livecast is when they mean to hit like one button for like a laugh track, and in one episode they accidentally someone triggered just applause. So Darren goes, "Wow, they were so impressed they just went straight to applause." And it's like, wow,
That's awesome.
I don't know how I got there, which is they didn't even laugh; they just went straight to applause.
They were just impressed.
Like someone tells a joke and everyone's just, wow. Like, yes, no laughter. So I've been looking at, I mean, I've delved, I feel like a child. And I guess that's something that, like, I guess I'm vulnerable to around this time of year, Christmas and stuff, and the days leading up.
Definitely.
And I'm looking for any sort of escape from my humdrum life and my job. And so for the last 3 or 4 days, it has been me coming home, having a couple beers, taking a whack at this fucking gigantic-ass Star Destroyer that turns out so small, even though it took me like 3 or 4 days, 3 hours each sitting. And I bought the...
That instruction book is like
245 pages.
Jesus.
Yeah. And, you know, I would just put on Star Wars shit. I bought 1 through 6, the Blu-rays.
Yeah.
And I would put on special features.
You didn't already have those?
Well...
Do you have the VHS somewhere?
It all began... My aunt had... The one that's now married to the asshole.
Oh.
She had the original VHS tapes in like a
4 through 6.
3. Yeah, in a 3
I
set.
have that. I have that
set,
too.
yeah, and they were untouched.
Yeah.
And so
that's good. That's good. You can't get that anymore.
They've all been lost except for I think one VHS tape of like Return of the Jedi or something is floating around out of its case.
It's funny. I have the Blu-ray collection of the original trilogy. And there are some changes in there that they kept and some that they took out. For example, when Luke gets his hand cut off in Bespin and like falls down that hole.
Yeah.
Like he gets sucked in that vacuum thing. In like George Lucas's last edit, he made Luke scream on the way down. And it's just like, what is that? What? He did that voluntarily. And then in the Blu-ray.
There are so many things like that.
In my Blu-ray, he didn't scream. Well, it was the original.
That's just like
it's really strange.
Obi-Wan Kenobi scaring the
Tuskens.
Tusken Raiders. Yeah. Sorry, and in some of the expanded lore, it's supposed to be whatever. It may have been mentioned in the film that the noise he makes is supposed to sound like this great sand snake that they're afraid of, and so every single release, it's been a different sound, leading up to just like a shriek and a.
Yes, that is jarring.
So, how does it sound like a sand snake?
What's your least favorite touch-up of the originals?
Probably episode 6 and Jabba's Palace.
Oh, I was gonna say
that dancing thing,
the elongated dancing scene.
Yeah. Just leave it alone.
Yeah,
touch it up like with like little peripheral things, but don't fully edit new scenes and like put a fucking new Jabba scene in 4.
Oh yeah,
when he isn't even introduced until 6.
Yeah,
and it's amazing to me that they had those shots with Harrison Ford to begin with.
That is really bizarre.
I mean,
I was thinking about that when I was watching that. I was like, why did they film this? Did they know this was going to happen? Like what? 20 years later?
There's so much to Star Wars. The intrigue, the like self-loathing.
The good thing about the originals, I can get past the touch-ups very easily. I don't know about you.
The Hayden Christensen thing is very upsetting.
Sure, yeah.
Even though people try to theorize endlessly, that's how he looked when he was last a part of the light side, so he would revert to his most perfect form. No, it should have been that other dude. Like, just stop it. But yeah, in summation, I've been hitting Star Wars real hard, and I'm ashamed of the Lego thing. Because ultimately, even the biggest Lego sets of mine end up crunched up into the sea of death. These 250-pound sets of Lego tubs that contain endless sets broken down. Like, probably tens of thousands of dollars spent. So, I've started thinking about, I really need to stop buying this shit because Legos are preposterously expensive. And it's only a satisfying thing while you have it unbuilt. So that's what I loved about this Star Destroyer. It took me so many days to get it together, so the dream kept going.
Did you ever build like model stuff, not Legos? Like cars, airplanes, or anything like that?
Me and my grandfather were big on erector sets. I don't even know if you know what those are. Erector sets, you kind of think of it like more metallic Technic parts, like Bionicle stuff. Like braces and bolts and nuts and stuff, and they would often be automated or semi-electronic, like a Ferris wheel that actually, it's steel braces and little I don't know. The erector sets are very stuffy compared to Legos, but I was big on that stuff when I was.
I built a lot of model airplanes, like the Hobby Lobby stuff that like would come in those little like plastic brace things. You know what I'm talking about?
I never yes.
They're like you pop them out and then have to glue them together and spray
those
paint.
Suck. I don't like that.
I was really into those when I was
messy.
Like,
There's so much room for error.
Yeah, I've super glued some things to myself before.
Well, I mean, I used to super glue cut up like crescent moon shaped cutouts of ping pong balls under my fingernails in college, so I know about super gluing a few things to myself.
So that was for guitar, right?
Yeah, when a nail would break, because it's the closest thing, and one of my professors argued it was better, but he's a fucking nut job and a fucking contemporary idiot. Sorry. Love you, Dr. Gibson. But, so yeah, I said to myself recently, the next thing I need to do is, I did this a few times, and it's quite an undertaking, because there's probably 500,000 individual Lego bricks sitting over there in that corner. And I was very big on the Harry Potter Lego sets back in the day. They were great. They were really good sets. They struck a really neat balance between like vehicle standalone style sets and big interconnecting buildings, which I was big on. And a few years ago, I got online and said, you know what, I broke all these down. I'm going to get back on the internet, find the online scanned-in instruction booklets, and dig through these goddamn tubs endlessly until I find every individual piece. And I rebuilt everything. The Hogwarts Castle, in all of its glory, now resides in the attic.
Oh, okay. It's still together?
Yeah.
Okay.
But I threw it into the crawl space attic off of my room, and that's where its legacy dies. Probably end up with some Star Wars sets in there soon enough. But, I mean, I've got so many, like...
You'll drag them out in 2 years.
I've got... when another Star Wars movie comes out. But I've got so many classic Star Wars Lego sets, like the TIE Bomber. I say classic for classic trilogy, really.
Yeah.
You know, the Imperial Shuttle, the original Slave One Boba Fett ship.
Oh, you have that? That's
cool.
I
had the original one. Not that... I mean, I had the prequel bullshit one, too, for Jango Fett's color scheme. But... And, you know, I did at one point have an AT-AT. It was the mechanized one. Yeah. But I think I got rid of all the...
We just had, like, not Lego stuff, but, like, just action figure AT-ATs and AT-STs and stuff I was really into. Because they had, like, movable parts and stuff.
I had a few... like Star Wars action figures.
And we had a fucking snow speeder. I would like reenact the Hoth scenes. Oh,
I did that shit.
Oh yeah.
I was really weird with Legos. I always wanted to do my own stuff for whatever I was into.
I was a freeform, like just bricks.
Perfect Dark and GoldenEye, the N64 games. I did stuff based off of those. Like I have pictures of it, like actual physical pictures floating around somewhere of I made the cradle. From
the satellite thing
above my bathtub. And literally, I made gigantic platforms all the way across from like the shower head and a long hanging down satellite like thing. And I did shit like that. And man,
the thing that I would do with Legos most commonly was like we would go to my grandmother's pool. And, like, right before we left, me and a friend would, like, just get a bunch of Legos and try to, like, build a boat or something. Like, it was different every time.
I used to take a lot of baths when I was a younger person. That was my thing. And before I realized I was stewing in my own broth.
Yeah, it's kind of gross.
But there's nothing more relaxing than a tub bath. But I would, like, as a child, create submarines and shit and submerge them fully in the fucking water and leave them to dry beside, like, on the toilet and shit.
The exact same
and they
shit.
started stinking.
Oh, no!
Of, like old leftover water, plastic bathtub water. Musty. So a lot of my Lego bricks are, like, filthy and weird.
Waterlogged.
And it didn't help that some of the Lego sets I was into were like submarines and shit. So I really wanted to get in there. Man, if I ever had a pool. We've talked about Legos for too long, though. We're almost at the 45-minute mark. But yeah, I'm on quite a kick. And, it would tickle me to death if I could snap my fingers and get, the Lego Death Star and spend 16 days building it.
I don't know if I'm that big on that one because it's only open, right? It's just a cross section, isn't it?
No. It has moving plates.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure.
The one that we watched that kid build, it didn't look like it had any cover.
I think you put it on last.
Maybe, okay.
I'll tell you the worst.
I do like the little vignette scenes, though. That's cool.
Oh, yeah. That's
cool.
Nice. They're small, but just the fact that they thought about them and included them was really neat.
Like the trash compactor,
throne room encounter, all that stuff. Was there ever a Lego set that you had that was just like, this is bullshit? This is so stupid.
I didn't buy the sets. My brother was the Lego guy, and then I played with
guy.
all of his leftover stuff that was in the bin.
I had a friend like that in elementary school. His older brother had all these Legos, and I was like, why don't you play with this stuff?
Yeah. See, we just had like tubs like that filled, and then I would just go in and pick whatever.
Well, the most bullshit Lego set I ever had was the original Hagrid's hut. It was sort of this...
I had one of Herbert Moon.
What?
What?
What? What?
What?
You like my own creation?
Yeah, it was a mock of Herbert Moon.
Are you going to Brickfest? No.
What?
They're having one near here, actually, in the major city in where we are.
I'm Herbert Moon.
Yeah, Herbert Moon Fest.
Herbert Moon.
Heartburn. But
Heartburn.
This fucking Hagrid's hut. Basically, what it was, when you could open it up. And it was interlocking plates, and essentially it would be a long vertical wall. And then you could wrap it back up into a circle and close it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Except the roof part of it, which were sort of like elongated triangles, were not actual brick pieces. They were fucking like thin paper that you strapped onto like the fucking like walls. And it was shit.
I think I know what you're talking about.
It was absolute shit.
I vaguely remember something like that.
Not only was it hard to assemble, but it was cheap and it didn't work. It was awful. Like, way to fucking crap out on like something people are already paying a lot of money for. Like, fuck, that was like a $60 or $70 Lego set, and it was just like, when I was building, I was like, what is this? This is bullshit. Like, what a fucking cop out. Anyway, enough Legos. I'll probably buy more. I need some with like the good guys.
The Octo set. That'll be cool.
Yeah, that's how you pronounce it. I'll probably get that eventually, even though the set itself looks pretty unimpressive.
I haven't seen it, but I like the idea.
I want the minifigures.
Yeah, old Luke.
Old Luke is big. And see, this is kind of crazy. Hold on. I'm going to do a live Google search. Lego Snoke minifigure. Let's see what he's going for like shopping. This is from after tax a $175 Lego set. The minifigure is selling for
just the Lego character.
Yes, like $15 and $20.
Let me see him. It doesn't even look like him.
I know, because he's like 10.5 feet tall in the fucking movies, and it's just like,
is he? I don't think he is.
Well, he's pretty tall. But that's kind of interesting.
What?
The description on this says Lego Star Wars Supreme Leader Snoke with Palpatine hologram. You know, we talked about that hologram that's in the I guess it's like the bridge, I don't know, of this Star Destroyer Lego set. It looks like Palpatine, you know, the hooded cloak and everything. And then there's all these theories about Snoke having communicated with him from like the Outer Rim.
Right. He was the driving force and stuff.
I think in the past, Lego actually has a history of being fed information about a themed property and putting it into the sets and not explaining it when they had too much information. You know what I mean? Like they would reveal like a Harry Potter character before he was even shown in trailers in a Lego set.
Really?
They do stuff like that by almost accident.
Yeah.
And I feel like Disney would be tighter about Star Wars and never even allow them to do that. But it kind of makes you wonder.
Well, that cloaked hologram could very well be Kylo Ren. Because he does wear the hood with the mask.
He is not included with the set. You got a point.
Yeah. Just throwing that in there.
But still,
I know you want to...
This is this really stokes the flames of the fan theories and stuff. And that's another thing I've been getting into. You know, as I was building that Lego set, I was like, I am addicted to Star Wars. I need more. Because I love the extended universe, too. There's so much to it. I love it. I fucking love it. Especially, like, Old Republic shit, as you know, I'm a big fan of. Everybody check out my series that's incoming, New Year Old Republic. Chris did a great intro for me. Thank you, Chris. Top-notch job. We're going to get off this topic, though.
Okay.
It's gone on for about 30 minutes.
It's all right. I enjoyed talking about it.
Yeah, I did too, but I knew
we've talked about it so much outside the podcast. I didn't really want to rehash. So.
Yeah, even though I feel like we went over the main points, I didn't get tired of it.
That's fine.
All right, Lego Relapse. Let's move on from that. I'm just gonna mention this. I beat Sonic Mania.
Cool.
I wanted to beat that for like one of my games of the year list.
I beat Wolfenstein: The Old Blood.
Oh yeah,
it was all right.
It was all right. That's about what I would say so far. It's like a really expanded DLC package.
I'm glad I played it, basically.
But I don't even think it's like a canon part of the fucking games.
No.
It's just it's like a fan.
Just wait till the ending.
It's like a fan made thing. But it's exactly the same engine and the same combat and stuff overall. So, I mean, if you just could not get enough Wolfenstein, with 2 of those games out and everything that happened before this, I guess, soft reboot. Is it a soft reboot?
Yeah, totally,
okay.
Yeah.
Well...
Because they had one come out in, like, 2009.
You know, speaking of things coming out, I hear a certain director has something that you saw.
Oh, cool. Wow, excellent. I was about to bring this up.
Martin McDonough.
Yes.
Man behind In Bruges, 7 Psychopaths, 6-Shooter, The Short.
And then his brother did The Guard.
Yes, he executive produced The Guard, too. So you saw, what is it? It's
3 billboards outside Ebbing, Missouri.
It's a long title. It's hard to remember.
It is a long title.
And you made a tweet about it that I got a lot of mixed feelings from. So I want you to talk about this. Where did you see it? Where was it playing?
Online. It has a very, very limited release. I don't even think it's out in the U.S. right now. It's UK.
It's been out for a while.
Yeah, it came out in, like, November in the UK. I don't think it's in the U.S. yet. I just
Which is ironic for a movie about the U.S.?
Yeah. I just looked up the name and then stream and then found it on usual website that you would find it.
fmovies.to.
Putlocker.
Go watch it. It was good.
Tell
me about this, because I'm a really big fan of those 2 movies that he's done.
Yeah,
I'm a really big fan.
I think I mentioned in my tweet, it definitely has like some of his undertones in there, like some of the silliness, some of the
dialogue,
the wacky dialogue.
Because he has such unique dialogue.
But this movie is, it has silly moments, but overall it's very somber and pissed, like very angry about like justice systems, and it's very much worth watching. I'm really starting to think that like this guy could quickly become like one of my favorite directors if he keeps putting stuff out like this.
You think he's gonna hit like an opus that breaks through?
Yeah, I think so, because this was
make something like Pulp Fiction or something.
I think this movie wasn't like maybe like the most enjoyable thing ever, but it is probably his best.
Whoa, because you sounded really a little mixed.
No. I loved it. I loved every second of it. It was great. It was awesome.
You want to tell me what it is about in about 10 words? Like the theme, the setting, the characters.
I cannot tell you,
because that's just I can't take anything from that title.
I'll tell you this: it's kind of a small town story about like how one person's action can get a whole town riled up, and like inner workings and politics of a really small city. And it kind of feels like No Country for Old Men in a way, with a lot more comedy. It is fascinating. You will really like it, I think. And it has Sam Rockwell in it, Frances McDormand from Fargo, very similar to Fargo too.
Well, I will give it the respect it deserves and wait until home release and pay for it.
It's good.
I will buy it the day it comes out on whatever format is best.
It has some really incredibly moving scenes. Like,
what a title!
Blown away by it.
Title.
Yeah,
it's a tough title to remember.
Basically, I'll tell you this: there are like 3 billboards on this road in this middle of nowhere town, and like this woman's daughter was raped and killed, and no one did anything about it. So she buys ad space and says like, I think the billboard says like, raped and murdered, no suspects, why, and then the chief's name. Those are the 3 billboards, and then the whole town's like, why would you do that? The chief's a great man, whatever. And then like,
that sounds
like a
really
whole split.
Cool. That sounds really cool. Just already in
it's
brief.
Like, it's almost a Western too, like a modern day one in the way like
modern day Westerns are so open ended. Like they could be anything almost these days.
What I'm saying is like it feels like there's always like this showdown in the middle of the town square or something. It's a weird but really fascinating and good movie. I feel like.
You see any TV that you didn't tell me about?
No, I have not.
I watched Stranger Things season 2.
I've heard mixed, mostly things about it.
It was not as good as the first season by a long shot. I think they.
I think mostly what I've heard is there's one episode that everyone really hates. I could be wrong, but
another one. I don't know. It. If you haven't seen any of that show, I mean, I don't know. It's more of the same, but the plot is less fresh because it's the same thing with just the slightest twist. I think they caught lightning in a bottle with the first season and said, hey, we got to keep doing that.
Yeah, I'm surprised they kept going. Because I haven't seen the firth one, but it just seemed like one of those anthology kind of things.
It was too huge to not keep going.
Yeah.
Although I would be fond of seeing like an anthology where it's separate characters.
Yeah. Like Fargo does that, the TV show.
But these characters are so popular.
Yeah.
And the actors are so popular that people demand to see them again. Ugh. Which in this case, I mean, I'm not going to say that the season didn't have its moments.
Yeah.
Because it did. There were some great ideas. But I think it very much so felt like someone making Stranger Things.
I see what you're saying.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, like they're aware of it.
Like they knew what Stranger Things was.
That's what Game of Thrones is.
And they knew exactly what to keep doing.
That is what Game of Thrones is.
No, it doesn't get bad as bad as Game of Thrones now.
Fair enough.
That's
Fair
totally
enough.
different. Did I watch anything else? I'm almost done with Westworld season 1. I think I have 1 or 2 more episodes.
What do you think about it?
It has I'm enjoying it a lot.
Yeah.
I'm really enjoying it a lot. And I don't know, it's an HBO show, so I'm going to love the theme, the intro.
It is awesome. A really good intro.
That's the guy who did the Game of Thrones theme. His name was like something Diwaldi.
Okay, yeah.
He's really fucking good at making awesome themes. And I don't know, I think it kind of gets buried in its own like style and pretensions and kind of spins around on the ground and doesn't really go anywhere with it. It presents these ideas and doesn't go anywhere with it.
Yeah.
Like there'll be something really interesting that they'll mention and then it's like, okay.
Yeah, like,
so what?
Hey, we had this cool idea, but don't know how to flesh it out at all.
Like the nature of consciousness and like humanity, and it's like, well, you did this great part with this character that said a lot, and nothing ever happened.
Yeah,
no one responded to it. It wasn't impactful.
And without spoiling, on the rare occasion that something like that does come up, it just kind of turns into a blockbuster kind of ending.
I don't know though. That's all I can see this ending as.
Yeah, exactly.
I've really enjoyed.
Like, what do you think is going to happen with the robots?
I already know.
Like in the end.
I already know.
Like they're going to break out.
Yeah, and they're going to
Of course. Like that's what's going to happen.
I've really enjoyed Anthony Hopkins' performance a lot.
Yeah.
The guy who played Narcisse in Boardwalk Empire is really good. The woman that the guy played by Narcisse was seeing before she was like, we can't do this anymore is really good.
Oh, yeah.
I can't. She's like the
been a while since
director.
I've seen
She's
it.
like the director of something. She's really good. I really like what's his name? Sam, the Man in Black.
Oh, Sam. It's not Elliott, is it?
No,
Sam Elliott's a singer, but that's why I know
no,
that.
he's not a singer.
Is he not?
He's an old Western guy with a big old mustache. But anyway,
fuck, I'm really screwed up here.
Anyway, that guy's Ed Harris.
Ed Harris. Why is Sam Elliott?
I see where you're going. He's really good, and there's a lot of like, I like when characters seem to be very mystified and bewildered and like stare into the distance and have like a romanticism about it and like a strange like questioning of their reality. So the show really delves into that. And what's her name, who dated Marilyn Manson, is also really good. She plays the sort of femme fatale.
Okay, yeah.
What's her fucking name?
Dolores.
I don't know her name. She has a crazy name.
Evan Rachel Wood.
Yeah.
That's a very memorable
She's
name.
really good in it and got an Oscar for it, which is kind of crazy.
Really?
Yeah.
I did not know that.
She had best like female supporting character or something.
Oh,
wow. She's really good. She gives it her all and kind of does it in a very compelling way. I don't know. I think this show kind of, what's the phrase, sits on its laurels or kind of just spins its wheels a lot and has very tantalizing ideas that are never fulfilled.
Yep. That is what you're going to get.
That's very frustrating to me. Me and my dad really like it. My mother hates it.
Why?
I don't know. She just thinks it's stupid. She says she can't get into any of the characters because some like the best ones are not real.
Okay.
I said, what is that?
That's kind of the point.
Well, there's quite a reveal about a character we thought was real. That was pretty good. But anyway,
yeah. Well, it's been out. Narcisse.
It's been out.
Plays Narcisse.
Bernard Shaw, right?
Yeah.
Isn't it? That's pretty cool. I really like Anthony Hopkins' character immortalizing like his childhood and that hidden part of the
right. Yeah,
that's really cool. I like the maze stuff.
It's like almost there.
I feel like it's poised to like have 15 more episodes of the greatest thing I've ever seen, but I know it won't.
Yeah,
you know what I mean.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, anyway, Westworld, it presents more ideas that are pleasing. That kind of pay off.
They don't know what to do with them.
I mean, yeah, but I still enjoy the intrigue and the mystery of it all. The ride was worth it, even if the destination isn't, maybe.
Yeah, definitely.
I would say that about Stranger Things 2. And not Stranger Things 2, but Stranger Things 1 and 2. Oh, no. Well, I was going to spring an opinion scramble on you two because I had one planned, but you already did it on me, so I can't.
You can do it on me.
No. It's too late.
All right.
It's too late. I need to save it for the next one. We cannot have multiple assailants per episode. It's too late.
Are we doing music picks or do we want to keep going with something else?
If you had something else, please. But I mean, I'm ready for music.
Do you know
picks.
anything about the Logan Paul stuff?
Oh, the Suicide Forest thing. Yeah. I didn't even want to bring it up because I don't even want to justify it by mentioning his existence. But yeah, that's pretty gross.
Yeah.
Beyond
and you
gross.
still think Jake Paul is worse?
Well, I mean,
even with that fucking hair?
Personality-wise, Jake Paul is more annoying.
How?
He's just more...
I'm trying to understand
He's more
this.
about the squad and the bro and the living in the mansion and we're out pranking people.
Sure, yeah.
And we're out crazy. Logan Paul is more like, I'm hot and weird and like...
dumb.
And dumb. And I go to VidCon and like 13-year-olds trample each other and die and it's like funny to me. I mean, I don't know. This is just like when fucking...
Did you,
PewDiePie said the N-word. It's the exact same thing.
Did you read his apology?
I've heard multiple ones. I heard his verbal one.
Hold
it's
on. There's something he says in here. Where is it? I didn't do it for views. I get views. He brags in this whole apology. I'm often reminded of how big a reach I truly have, and with great power comes great responsibility.
Oh my god! Is this guy like 9 years old inside?
Yes.
What the
It's
fuck?
obvious.
I don't have anything to say about this.
Okay, that's fine.
It's worth mentioning just as like a timestamp of where we are, because we'll listen back to this and be like, this was happening, because this is the big thing going on right now on YouTube and stuff. But I just fucking whatever. He's just they're both fucking garbage, human garbage.
Yes, absolutely.
But speaking of garbage, let's get into our music picks.
All right. Get me hyped up for this one.
I want Chris to go. Okay, hold on. Is yours more upbeat or not? Mine's very low and not depressing, but kind of sad.
I'll do mine first.
Ethereal.
I'll do mine first.
Okay.
Because mine's... You've heard mine before, I think.
Uh-oh.
And you mentioned them on a recent, maybe even the latest podcast. I haven't listened to a lot of new music lately, so I'm just going to pick a song that I like from a band that I know you've heard of at least. You know the Menzingers?
Yeah, boy!
I'm going to pick Good Things? Yeah, I think that's what it's called.
I've been having a horrible time, pulling myself together. I've been closing my eyes to find the old familiar failures. I've been having a horrible time, pulling myself together. I've been closing my eyes to find why all good things should fall apart. Why all good things should fall apart. Why all good things should fall apart. Why all good things should fall apart.
The thing I love about real punk is that it's honest, it's energetic, it's spirited, and it's genuine.
That's like what you said. I couldn't put it into words.
There's
as
no
well as you did,
pretension.
but the spirit of it just
And
gets me going.
Another thing about it is it's fun.
Yeah,
Like, also, if you wanted to get a couple guys together, you could learn this music
absolutely.
in like a day. It's very simple. It's made to be played by other people a lot of the time. Like, people can just figure it out. It's so simple. And it's just fun and down to earth. And I love it. And
There is no pretension to that at all. Like seriously,
and it's also sort of a pop punk that like wasn't like the factory built Blink-182 pop punk,
right,
you know?
right.
That's why I hesitated and said no, it's not pop punk, but because pop punk has become such a dirty word, It's like All Time Low and like all these just gross modern bands that shouldn't even exist anymore. But that was good. Another thing, the brevity is always refreshing.
Yeah.
Like, it's just so good. I don't know, something just easily digestible and wonderful. So that was the Messengers. Good Things. Chris's pick of the week. Now to really bring things down to a
That's why I wanted to go
sad, screeching halt. Sometimes I worry when I talk about music and musicians that I come off the wrong way. Like I'm more hateful of the person personally than just their music. Who they are, what they stand for, it doesn't have anything to do with that. Like I think Taylor Swift is and has always been one of the lowest points in popular music, and now more so than ever. Mm-hmm. Her new album is one of the most disgusting things I've ever heard.
It's really terrible.
And all of her fans are just so into Tay and the culture of Tay and all this.
This is like her rebranding too.
It's like, can you just be into the music and not just the attitude of it?
Dude,
Like,
this is what I've been saying about like people who watch Game of Thrones now. They don't. Well, okay. I was getting. Okay, listen. People are. I feel like a lot of people are more obsessed with being caught up with like a popular show like that than they are with anything else, and just being a part of the fandom.
So you're applying that to Taylor Swiftism.
Yeah. Sort of.
I don't know. I find that I gotta really watch my words carefully here. Almost every industry is male dominated. That's just a truth, sadly. And when you get into female music, so much of it tends to be less personal. And like all the female fronted music I hear is just like fun, silly music, or like just like there's nothing of substance. And I'm not saying female-fronted bands are all silly and have no substance. Don't take it that way. It's just I think that's what people want. They don't want a confrontational woman. Men don't want that. They don't want to face that. And so you have Taylor Swifts and Ellie Gouldings and Tove Lo's and Halseys, and you have plenty of folk musicians and stuff that are obnoxious too, that are trying to do something. But I don't know. I find like women are not represented properly as they should be, like in this scene, and it's disappointing. And every now and then I struggle with just like, are women more into the money than men? No, I don't. I don't even know what I'm talking about anymore.
Like the market dictates what you're going to hear.
Yeah.
Too, so
and men are more willing to just kind of do what their heart tells them.
Something
Maybe
digestible,
I don't know. I mean, you still have bands out there like Arch Enemy, which is a heavy metal band with a thin, attractive singer who's just screeching like a fucking banshee that just was released from hell into the microphone. It's like, well, this is this kind of changes my perspective. And, we were talking about St. Vincent earlier, who's another one of those outside-the-box female musicians, but she's just atrocious and horrible. I don't know. I guess the point I'm making is that, like, women are not represented enough positively on this channel, especially when it comes to music, and so I'm choosing something from an artist called Marika Hackman, who I've mentioned a few times around you and might have interspersed here and there, and something here related to our channel. I don't know. She's sort of she's a British folk singer, and she released an album called We Slept at Last a few years ago, which annoyingly on Amazon, the only way I could find a physical copy of it, it was called We Slept Last Night.
What?
That's not even what it says on the thumbnail of what you're selling. How could you write? That really irritated me. And I got the physical copy of this album, and it's really pretty damn good. It's cool as hell. And so my pick this week is Before I Sleep by Marika Hackman. And she is wonderful and so honest and so sad and gorgeous and just wonderful.
A rabbit caught in your glow, I am frozen in the yielding tile, sticky and golden. Foresee this ending in a shower of flame. So drink your holy water soon, and I'll wash my loving hands. I'm through, for I am of the sun, and this night is getting on. When dawn breaks warm, I'm gone.
I want to ask you,
What?
when you listen to music, do you often visualize anything? Or do you kind of just soak it in?
Sometimes I do.
Okay.
Usually the
so
lyric. If I can understand the lyrics, that guides me.
Okay, yeah.
And if I can't, it opens up my imagination even further.
Yeah. So, like, when you hear that song, what do you think?
Somebody walking around with, like, a frozen lake or something.
Yeah.
Like, reflecting about mistakes they've
I
made.
almost feel like it could be like a cold, like, winter night and, like, people are in a warm tavern or something. Something like that. Like a medieval tavern.
Yeah.
Yeah. Also, was that a classical guitar? Or not?
She was playing fingerstyle guitar on an acoustic guitar. So, like a half step.
I can tell.
Like a half step to
Yeah.
it, yeah. But not quite. I don't know. She creates really haunting music.
Yeah.
That's like so honest it like hurts sometimes. she's incredibly open about herself and her feelings and stuff. And
how'd you find her?
Actually, it's one of those total fluke situations where I like saw like a comment on YouTube on a totally unrelated video, clicked on it, went to the guy's profile, and it was like on a playlist that he liked. I was listening to it. She has another song called Drown, which is the first track on the record. This is the second one when it's played. It's a lot more popular, but it's less kind of mystifying to me. This song has like a weird, I don't know, there's just like a enchanting folkloric quality to it.
Yeah,
It's
exactly.
Really
exactly.
neat. Like really neat. And I don't know, I want
It's like a bard or something.
Yeah. I really want to see more stuff like this. I don't know. There's no pretension whatsoever. It's stripped down, it's honest, and it's beautiful. I don't know. Like there's nothing that makes me angry about it. And her voice, she's not like doing like vocal acrobatics or like trying to do everything that every pop musician does. It's like there's none of that. It's like thank God, this is just real.
Mm-hmm.
And that's it. Chris, what do we do now?
Can you insert like a really fucked up edited version of Brooklyn Girls by Katie Shaw right now?
Thy will be done.
There's a palace of bricks in 11206 where all the fly Brooklyn chicks reside. And that boots in the summer sun. Way train rolling under sea. Her on the Lower East Side. In her walk, there's a fire, and she's gone. Her own style.